Happy New Year and welcome to the Daily Bible Reading Plan for 2024, or DBR 2024 for short, where we're going to spend a year with the Apostle Paul. The shepherds at Palm Springs Drive are so excited about rolling out this plan so that all of us as a congregation every day can be reading from the life of Paul, reading from the writings of Paul. We're going to go through the book of Acts and watch how his life and his missionary journeys unfold and how the letters fit together chronologically with his life in the book of Acts, and what was going on in Paul's heart, and what was going on in Paul's mind, what was going on with the churches that he wrote to, and what sort of things was he teaching them, and how does that apply to our lives. The goal for us is to become more like Paul this year, and ultimately to become more like Jesus. In fact, in 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 1, Paul says, "Be imitators of me, just as I also am of Christ." That's what we want this year, to become imitators of Paul, to love Jesus the way Paul loved Jesus, to love lost souls the way Paul loved the lost, to be willing to take risks, to be willing to step out of our comfort zones for God's kingdom the way Paul did. I'm so grateful to Mark Roberts. He's the preacher at the Westside Church in Irving, Texas. He put this reading schedule together for us. That is really hard work, trying to parse out all the different verses in Acts and match that up with the day of the week and get it all to work out well in chronological order throughout the whole year. That is very difficult. I'm just so glad that he did that for us. And you can get that schedule in 3 ways. First of all, we'll have physical copies printed out so that you can pick them up at the church building. Secondly, you'll see a link underneath this video on the webpage that says in blue, download the schedule. You can click that to download the schedule. You can also click on the link on the webpage that says DBR 2024, and the second option will say DBR schedule. You can get the schedule that way as well. And what you'll notice is the Bible readings are not very long. They're only 8 to 10 verses long. And we're only going to be reading 5 days a week. That gives you the weekend to kind of take a bit of a mental break and pick up back strong on Monday. It also gives you an opportunity to catch up if you fell a little bit behind during the week. And you're probably thinking, okay, Brian, what kind of Bible reading plan is it if I'm going to read 8 to 10 verses, which is going to take me like 30 seconds? Well, there's other things that you can do as a part of this plan. So on this page right now on the website, DBR 2024, where this video is playing, you'll see beneath this video, if you scroll down, that there are questions that you can ask as you're going through the book of Acts, and questions you can ask as we're going through Paul's letters. And the idea is to do the reading for the day and then also try to answer those questions. Some people find that doing it in their head is okay. A lot of people find writing it down is much more meaningful. It forces you to really think through your answers. So maybe you can pick up a journal and write these answers out as you're going through these readings. Now, what you'll also find is that if you go back to the DBR 2024 tab on the webpage, the third option says DBR videos. If you click on that, you'll find videos for every day of our Bible reading plan. There'll be videos recorded by me, 6 to 7 minutes long. Now that was kind of a difficult number to try to figure out, but my concern was if I make the videos too short and it's like 2 or 3 minutes, then people might feel like, well, what's the point? He's not really saying much beyond what's already obvious in the text. But then if I make the videos 20 minutes long, well, then that's overwhelming and nobody's going to be able to do that. So 6 to 7 minutes seems like a good sweet spot. If you still feel like that's too long, you can always put the video on 2x speed, and then it'll be more like 3 minutes when you're finished. But I hope that that will be a helpful guide as you're going through the studies, because I want to bring out some technical details in the text, maybe some original language issues, maybe some cultural, some historical background that you wouldn't just get from a surface reading of the text. And I also want to bring out some practical applications so that we're putting these things into practice in our lives to actively become more like Paul as we spend a year with him. And I also want you to know you can share this plan with your friends and family members. Maybe they're at a different congregation. Maybe they don't believe in God at all, but they don't know where to start with Bible reading. And if they were to read the Bible, they might be kind of confused by it and not really understand the chronology. Well, they're going to find the videos very helpful as they go through the Bible and help them learn God's Word as well and learn more about Paul, learn more about what Paul was about in his daily life. And I hope that we will all grow together as a congregation, closer to God, closer to Jesus, and in a deeper understanding of who Paul was and how we can be more like Paul. I'm excited to get started. I'll see you in the first video on January 1st.